Hey everybody, Retro Soul 86 here. And I wanted to say I hope you guys have a wonderful and happy new year. This will be my end of 2023 address. Uh, or catch up or whatever you want to call it. I do a boot Linux and I have ran it off and on for time and again. My main goal is to see if I could get certain things working in Linux. I have gone back to Windows only because everything just kind of works better and easier. Not saying anything bad about Linux. It's just once things progress a little easier, a little more, I'll start to use it. Not a problem. With that said, I have a lot of great things coming up. Um, Demon Souls is coming out on the weekends right now. After that will be Dark Souls 1 bow only, and then Dark Souls 2 bow only. Um, both complete series. And that'll be going through, I want to say May. Right now, see, um, let's see right now. YouTube Studio. Double check this before, I start going, oh, I have this ready, I have this ready. And it's just not for like 2 months down the road. Goodness gracious. Right now, God, there's still so much. God, there's still so much. All right, right now, um, gotten a lot of positivity from the Convergence mod in Elden Ring and Linux, and as well how to transfer your game saves over for Dark Souls 3 into Linux Mint, which is the one I would only use. I don't really care for Arch-based Linux distros. It's just my thing. Um, Pokemon Blue Nuzlocke is gone quite well. I'm really happy with how that's turned out. People are tuning into Demon Souls a lot, which I really appreciate. Sonic Adventure Battle 2, dude, got so many views. I was like, say what? 50 views in the first day. I was like, damn, okay. So I'm really happy with how my content is now, what I'm producing. I feel much happier than when I did in the beginning of the year, which I hadn't done anything for YouTube for probably a couple of years. And that's just because I was doing the same thing everybody else was doing, all the newest games, all the hypest games, and it just was not working out. Um, and I just wasn't happy with how content was coming out. But I rebranded myself Retro Soul, because I prefer playing the older games and I prefer, doing Souls games, and I'm a lot happier. You're going to see that a lot more in my content. So with Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls only, the Nuzlocke's going to continue for a while, Sonic Adventure 2, and then after Sonic Adventure 2 is Spider-Man on the PS1, which will be coming out on Wednesdays. I hope you guys enjoy that. It's exactly the same port as the N64 version, so I knew what to do, but the controls were a little different. Uh, with that said, after Pokemon, it's going to be Medal of Honor on the PS1, the original Medal of Honor. I actually had a blast playing it. You're going to see that because I'm going to shout like half the time going, man, this game actually works really well for a PS1 game, for a PS1 FPS. Which, you think PlayStation, you think RPG, you think platformer, or you think Spyro or Crash Bandicoot, or you think Final Fantasy. You don't think FPS. It works. um, and then after Spider-Man, is going to be Star Wars: The Clone Wars on the Xbox, the original Xbox. I still consider Xbox, PS2, and GameCube to be in that retro kind of feel because it's been at least 3 generations. That's usually my cutoff for retro feeling games. And it's one of my favorite, eras of gaming was Xbox, PS2, and GameCube. Um, Star Wars: Clone Wars was a release title bundled with I don't have the box over here with me. I thought it did, but it was Star Wars: Clone Wars and Tetris Worlds, all both on one disc, and it was a great game. I beat it back when I was a teenager, and I really, really enjoyed it. It was some of the best content I think I've made in a long time. Plus, I captured the content. Trying to use my words here. With the EVGA XR Lite 1 capture card. You wouldn't think EVGA and game capture card to be this, would work. It works right out of the box. It says right on the box, OBS certified, and I can confirm it works in Windows and Linux right off the bat. Just plug, boom, it's on screen. You never have to touch it, you don't have to adjust nothing, it just works. So I'm going to be doing a lot more capturing from my consoles going forward. The only ones I'm not going to be able to do is like, your handhelds or consoles that I have the consoles, but they don't work super well kind of thing. Like if I don't have really good controllers for it at the moment, I'll record it on the computer and then, buy controllers down the line. I got a lot of good stuff I'm thinking about doing. I was going to record today, but I was kind of in a funk of like, okay, what do I record? Because, I don't want to just be about Souls content. I enjoy playing Souls games, but I don't want that to be the only content that I create. Because I want to focus more on the older games than on, Souls. But I do want to do Souls games as well. And I've been asked, so why do you want to do Souls games? I mean, not Souls games, but retro games. These are a lot of the games that I grew up starting in the NES era through today. And a lot of the kids nowadays, and even, some adults, never got to play these. Or don't even know what they are. And that really hurts me personally because growing up, I didn't have a lot of friends. I was very typical nerd. I was beat up a lot in school. I was made fun of. So I really didn't have friends. I maybe have one or two here or there. And I played a lot of video games to kind of just get away from all that. So a lot of these games are from my past and are games that I enjoyed and helped me get through some really rough times. Just like Souls games. And this is gonna, if you don't want to hear a bit of a slightly heart-wrenching tale, I would say turn away now. My grandfather and grandmother passed away 7 years ago. When they were getting stuff ready for my grandfather's service, I was not dealing with it very well because I inherited all of his responsibilities on top of mine, on top of also not taking care of my disabled grandmother at the time. So my head was a pretty big mess. And I turned to Souls games for distraction. And they helped me get through one of the rougher times in my life because my grandparents raised me. And Souls games provided me that mental challenge that I could focus on that, not focus on all the crap that was going on, all the bad stuff that was going on. So that's how I got into that and why I view Souls games above a lot of them, because I can have a really rough day at work or at home and just flip on Elden Ring or flip on Dark Souls 2 or something and just not and the rest of the world just doesn't matter for a little while. I can just calm down. But that said, I have a lot of great games coming. I mean, there's Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Color, GameCube. I can do Game Gear, Genesis. I'd love to do some Genesis, but I didn't have one growing up. I have literally one right around the corner, and I have two more in my closet. People are selling for $20. I'm like, hey, yeah, I'll take that. I would love to do Genesis. I just really wouldn't know where to start because I didn't grow up with it. I grew up with the Super Nintendo, and then I hopped right into N64, and then PlayStation. I never had a Dreamcast either until 3, 4 years ago, and I found a guy on eBay selling his for $40 with the controller, cables, everything. And it works great. I just never got a chance to actually play it or to actually have one growing up. It was either Sony or Nintendo. And then later on, I got Xbox, and Xbox 360 was good, and then the rest of them kind of suck after that. Sorry for everybody who likes Xbox One and Series X and all that. There's no console exclusives to make me really want to buy that console. I mean, it's the same way. It's the same way with the PS5. I have one, but it's literally just for one game, and that's just the Demon's Souls remaster. That's literally the only reason I bought it, was because I want to have all Souls games, not Bloodborne, Souls games. So it's made by Soft. I don't care. I don't like Bloodborne. Heck, there was a person who was coming into my streams when I was streaming Dark Souls 2 Bow only that would constantly talk about Sekiro, and I'm like, okay, I get that you like Sekiro, but please don't talk about it here. I've already expressed that I really don't like Sekiro. I'm happy that you enjoy it. I'm happy for you that you enjoy that game, but I don't. So can we talk about something else, please? And they just kept going on and on. I just started ignoring them because if they're asking you nicely multiple times, it kind of gets annoying to have to constantly repeat yourself. Hey, I want you to stop. I got a ton of GameCube games and just a lot of good stuff coming through here. I have a lot more GameCube games than I thought. Some are still in zip files. I have backups of all my games on the computer, and if not, I downloaded copies to provide as backups in case something happens to my consoles. But I have a lot of good stuff coming through. I'm very happy to do this kind of stuff. Wow, a lot of these are just saying nope, cancel. Anyway, I got a lot of great games coming up that I'm really looking forward to doing. A lot of them are going to be primarily off my physical console. If not, well, yeah, you know what I mean. Rompspedia can be very lucky. Very crappy sometimes too. I also got a PS3 emulator, which I don't think I'm gonna ever need because my PS3 still runs really good for being. When did I get that console? Probably like 10, 12 years ago, and it still runs fantastic. I'm trying to decide what I want to do for my next series. I mean, content that I have currently runs to at least April 26th of next year. So it's not like I have to really hurry, but I'd like to keep producing content through August, the end of August next year, which I plan to move down south at that point. Probably take a little while to set things back up at that point too. But I'm primarily gonna move down south for good. I'm not coming back up to where I am now. I've also got a lot of old PC games too. Where is it? GOG, GOG Galaxy are good old games. They do a great job of configuring DOSBox to work with older DOS games and stuff like that. I mean, I've got Caesar 2, I've got Afterlife, which I might do a video on just to show it off. Crystal Caves, I've got the original Doom, which I've done on the channel, which was kind of cool because it came out. It was being released around the same time that Doom's 30th anniversary came out, and I was really happy about that. I've got Doom 2, which I should do at some point soon here because I really enjoyed Doom 1. Final Doom. I've got Elder Scrolls 2, 3, 4 won't be for a little while, but 2 and 3. Full Throttle, which was another LucasArts game that is a lot of fun. Might be doing that on the channel soon as a point and click game. Monkey Island. I've got all the Monkey Islands. I might stream those. Phantasmagoria, which was, I guess, quite a controversial game when it came out. Maniac Mansion. Serious Sam, The First Encounter, Rise of the Triad. SimCity 2000, maybe. I'm horrible at those type of games though. Space Quest, Super Noah's Ark 3D, which is hilarious. The Ultima series, I've got all of those. System Shock 1, System Shock 2, which are the predecessors to Bioshock. Wing Commander 1 and 2. The original Witcher, which I might wait on that one. I've done Wolfenstein 3D, so I probably won't be doing that one. Yeah, 2023 has been a year that I've gone through a lot of change. Some positive, some negative. Yeah, I'm hoping that 2024 will be the year where some positive stuff really starts happening. I think I've put out enough goodwill out in the universe that maybe I could start getting some back. You know, I've been patient and I've been kind to everyone that I've ever met. I mean, there are some that I've wronged. They've wronged me too, so, you know, tit for tat. But I primarily try to show myself as a positive example out in the world. Through showing of these old games, preserving a piece of the past, so that hopefully it won't be forgotten. Because how many kids nowadays have ever played the original Pokemons? Or have played the original Doom? Or Wolfenstein 3D, which is one of the best FPSs there is? Or hell, Perfect Dark or GoldenEye? I mean, Mario, the original Mario parties, which were a blast to play. A Link to the Past. Alien vs. Predator on Super Nintendo. I mean, the original Final Fantasies. I mean, how many people have never played these, gotten a chance to play these games? I want to show them off, show you how to beat them. And it's something I feel like I'm destined to do, is not destined, but obligated to do, is show these fun games and what they're capable of. How much fun you can have. But anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful 2024. Thank you for letting me catch up and talk your ear off. I will see you guys in the next series or the next update video, which will probably be sometime in the future. I'm not sure. See ya.